Talk, promoting successful business experts, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. Joining us today from Malaga, Spain, Reme Mancera, personal brand story strategist. So Reme, how can storytelling help differentiate your personal brand in a crowded market?
So I would say that using strategic storytelling can help you to provide three elements. The first one is context. So you show that you are trustworthy, that you know your stuff. The second one is connection. So you showcase you are someone relatable, so people will resonate with you. And the third element is contrast. You showcase that you are unique. You are show what is making you different, because as I always like to say, there are more people offering the similar service that you are offering or products that you are offering. No one else have your same life path.
Right.
That's why using your personal stories in a strategic way can help you to showcase what makes you different and what makes different your offer.
So to that point, I hear what you say and I agree, the uniqueness. So you help your clients actually find the uniqueness that they have.
Yeah, so what I help my clients to do is identifying which stories to share to highlight what makes them different, what are the benefits of what they offer and the value that they provide to their audience, to their clients.
Right.
And the thing that is different in my approach is that instead of looking for one big story, I help them to identify 10 meaningful moments of what their journey.
Right.
And each of them is connected to one specific key factor of what they offer. And I call those 10 moments, I call them the 10 story connectors. And this framework is based on the idea that a lot of people from my audience and my clients, they were concerned about not having a big epic story. So they were feeling like, who will care about my story? Why it's relevant for me and for my business to share this? So having a reason why you are sharing each moment, it makes a lot of sense when you are sharing it. So you do with confidence, you have clarity to know why you are sharing a specific story. And it could be helpful even in sales calls, because you know that you want to address a specific objection, and you can bring one of your stories as a bridge to talk about specific benefit, to emphasize something specific that you know can help your client or the person that is your potential clients to make the decision. And that could be to decide to work with us or to decide that we are not a good fit and this is not the right moment for them.
Well, I think that's an excellent way to help people, is really to cut their moments, their uniqueness, and you slice the whole cake. Because generally, we don't eat the cake all in one bite. We generally eat bite by bite, piece by piece. So if we bring together those 10 story connectors, hopefully in the end you have the cake. So then you can have the cake and eat it too.
Yeah, and the good thing is that you have the 10 story connectors and you can use them combined or separately. One of my clients, she said, like, these are like building blocks. I can play with them depending on who is the audience that I am talking to, what is the goal of that specific moment. Let's say it's a visibility opportunity. You are considering who is the audience of a podcast, let's say, if you are a guest. So you are thinking about, okay, how I share this same moment, this same story connector in a way that makes sense for the people that I am talking to.
Well, that all makes sense, because really when we tell a story, you don't have to tell the whole story. And most people don't have time for the whole story. So the context becomes important. So based on the context, as you mentioned, which part of your story could be relevant to the person that you're talking to. It could be looking for a job or looking for a client or just interacting with somebody.
Yeah, and sometimes you have the same story and you are sharing in a different way. And one of the concerns of some people that I work with is about their privacy. They want to work on their personal brand and have a personal brand that is memorable, is profitable, but also they want to keep their privacy. And I always tell that you can do in a way where you are sharing your specific moments, but you are sharing in a superficial level, briefly. So you don't go into private details, but you are sharing the emotions that that moment brought to you, or the lessons that you get from there that are important for the work that you do now, or are illustrating what are your values.
I think that lends to authenticity. So it may not be your whole personal life, but we do have to share enough that people think that it's authentic, that you're not fake. And today, with all the fake everything, people are really concerned about what's the story, if it's real or not.
Yeah, especially in the era of AI, bringing the human element is super important. That's why your stories are an asset for your business that you have there. And I invite everyone to get the most out of it, in the sense of they are moments of your journey that will provide that context that we mentioned at the beginning, for people to understand why you do what you do, why you work with a certain group of people, why it's important to you working around a certain problem, or how your approach is different from someone else. So using stories for bringing those topics is really important for your audience to really understand understanding why you do that. And
I think it's important what you just said, is to understand why we have to update our story. Because when you're mentioning AI, the artificial intelligence that's there, it's happening, and it's happening constantly. So even our brand needs to be updated constantly. And the context is changing. Today, we're in a different world than we were the day before yesterday.
Absolutely. And also, even if we don't think about what is happening outside, inside us, we are constantly evolving as a person and as a professional. So you want to refresh how you share your messaging. And sometimes when we keep working around the same problem or the same need, our services are evolving. How we approach our work is evolving, is moderating. So we want to incorporate that. And it's a great way to refresh our messaging and to consider again, okay, do I want to incorporate different moments of my journey? Do I want to change how I explain this part of my process or my values? So using your stories for that is a great way to keep refreshing and making sure that your messaging is refined and is up to
date. Very good. Well, Reme, thanks for being with us. But how can our listeners find you?
Thank you so much for having me. So they can go to my website, which is rememancera.com, or they can find me on LinkedIn.
The same way, it's Reme Mancera.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, thanks again for being here.
Thank you so much.
And for our listeners, it's Reme Mancera, R-E-M-E, and the last name M-A-N-C-E-R-A. M-A-N-C-E-R-A. You'll find her on LinkedIn and rememancera.com. And there on her site, you'll also see how to build trust in new audiences and deep connections with your existing community. Cafe Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at focusmi.com. Talk to Tom, talk to the world. Thanks for listening. Until the next time here at Cafe and Networking Podcast.